Olá, meu nome é Zia Ozaia, estou de volta neste quinta-feira maravilhoso. Eu vou dar com mais Navidad de Wife. Let's get ready for this video. So guys, it is Thursday once again and I am back with another review of The Wife. Guys, yo, wow, as Mqhele, like my emotions is just like this, like with this show, like yo, I roller coaster, like from the beginning it's like at a high and then it just goes in just like and then it goes like that basically the entire time. That's how I was feeling. But let's start with episode 28, which is damage control. So episode 28 opens up with Hlomu and Mqhele in their room. Hlomu is getting ready to go to work and she's just like, Mqhele, you know I don't like seeing that thing around, which is a gun. So he has the gun just like laying on the couch where he's sitting and he's like, you don't know when you're gonna need it, so that's why it's always like in the open. And he's just like, I can't deal with this, like do something about it, like I don't want to see it. So he takes it and he hides it, and then she sits down and she's lotioning her body. He comes and he sits next to her and he says, oh, before he sits down, he's like, this is why I hate Joburg. And Hlomu was just like, why? It's like this thing of you having to go back to work, like why don't you just like give in your resignation letter? And Hlomu was just like, nigga, say what now? You know that's not happening. And then she's just like, but we had this conversation and I told you that I'm not leaving my job. And she's just like, ndabezi ati no ungangithakazeli. Like she's trying to butter him up so he can listen to her at and he's just like, you need to leave that job. And Hlomu's just like, no, but this is gonna help the both of us. Like with me being at work still, I can keep an eye on what's written about our family. So basically he just like loses the fight because of what she says, and then she's just like, let me just go to work. So she stands up and she leaves. And then it goes to Sambulo at the taxi rank and he's holding the hats that Jabu was wearing. Guys, why? Like, why? Why did this have to happen to her? But yeah, you can tell that he's missing her, and the brothers come and they ask him if he's fine. He's like, no, he's fine. So he's the one driving the taxi, and then he gets into the taxi and then he leaves. And then it moves on to Hlomu telling Lux how she feels about him writing the article about her wedding. So yeah, it moves on to that. Before we get into that, guys, can we talk about who is actually dressing Hlomu? Because I have a bone to pick with the stylist. Hlomu's like 20, 23, 24. I guys, no, those pants were not the one. They were not flattering. That top that she was wearing also was just a no. Can somebody, anybody, please change the way Hlomu dresses? Or even if she still dresses like an old lady, but like make it fashionable and make it flattering also. That was not cute. But anyways, yeah, she's telling Lux about how she's not happy that he wrote about her wedding and what happened at her wedding. And Lux is just like, just because you gave me dombolo and cookies doesn't mean I'm not gonna write a story. I was there when it happened. This man is so disrespectful. Like ooh, disrespect is here. But yeah, he says that to her, and he says to Hlomu that she needs to write a story that is worth printing, because they're here to sell newspapers, and he doesn't want her to be as useless as Lerato, because that's what she has become. And then tells her to get out of his office. Yo guys, wow, like some bosses really don't know how to talk to their employees. I don't think my boss would be able to speak to me like that, like, and I would let it slide. At the end of the day, like, you have to have respect for me regardless that you are my boss. Like, you can't just talk to me like we're Shendabin. But anyways, it moves on to Lerato telling Lux telling Lerato that he actually reported them to HR. And Lerato's just like, you bluffing? And she's like, no, I told them about our relationship, not the way that you said it, but I told them that we were in a thing. and we're gonna have a meeting with the head of HR like today. So Lerato's just like shook that he did that. So anyways, it moves on to Hlomu is actually investigating what happened in Mbuba when they were there. So she's listening to the news, or yeah, some recording though, and this lady's talking about the 2 guys who were killed in Mbuba during the time that they were there. So they mention Mqhele's wedding, and they mention the 2 guys who were found. It's a shallow grave with 2 burnt bodies, and then she writes down everything. So she's thinking about what just happened, what she just heard, because I mean, like, she was there and she told the brothers that she wants a makandabo. So yeah, she's kind of thinking that it is her fault, which is kind of is, but not really. They deserved it. But anyways, as Lerato and Lux are having a conversation in the boardroom, a woman comes in screaming, saying that she's looking for the hoe that is sleeping with her husband. And since she comes in with a baby, guys, a baby, and she's like, yeah, since she wants to be in their marriage, then she can take care of what is his. And then she hands the baby to her, and she's like, Mnagwit, and she goes out. And that's just like, baby, no, I don't want this. And Lex is just like looking at her, because I mean, he's not the only person that she's been busy with. So anyways, she's like, it's not what it looks like. And he just like leaves her there and he walks out. It goes to the brothers at their home, and they have the police commissioner there. So now we know what the 80 million is for. So the 80 million is to release Uza from jail. A whole 80 million just for one woman, just one. But I guess because he raised them and he's the older brother, they will do anything for him. So yeah, the 80 million is to release Za from prison. So the commissioner's just like, do you have my money? They're like, yes. And he's like, yeah, you know, I'm leaving like soon, I'm retiring, so we have to make this quick because there's a lot of people who are hungry out there. So anyways, they're doing the shady dealings, and Ngoba and the commissioner's wife are giving each other eyes. Like, does she not know Mandisa? Does she not know her? Girl, you are digging your own grave. But anyways, it moves on to Lerato. So Lerato is at Hlomu's old place because she went to Langa for help, and Langa was just like, girl, no, you deal with your own situation. That's why I'm on contraceptives. And I was just like, what? I want contraceptives, yo man, like, what do you mean? But anyways, she is having the virtual meeting at Hlomu's place because she has this baby with her. She has to take care of Ingane Nagwet. So she's having the meeting there, and the baby's just like causing a ruckus, and she asked them to take a break and take care of the baby because like it's not coming down. And as she's taking a break, she's like, I'm just gonna mute it for a little bit and turn off the screen. Doesn't she put on a porno movie? Like, and she doesn't see, and Lux is just like, Lerato is not even hearing. And then she calms the baby down, and when she turns around, this thing in the camera, this video is playing in the laptop, and it's just like moaning, and the HR person is just like, what is going on? What is going on? And she's like, I'm so sorry. Now she's like panicking. I've never seen Lerato like that. Like, she's always so sure and always so confident. So when that was happening, I would also be like traumatized. Imagine meeting with your HR boss and then that happens. And she's just like, I'm so sorry, can we reschedule this? Like, like today is just like not my day. And they just like, yeah, we will reschedule it for another day. And then it moves on to Mqhele surprising Hlomu at work. That was sweet. That was really sweet. But we know his sweetness is not going to last for long. But yeah, he surprised her at work, and Hlomu was just like, what are you doing here? Like, he said it was urgent, and he's like, no, I just wanted to see you. You know how my heart belongs to you. And she's just like smiling, blushing, and then he's like, can you get like in the car? I have something for you. So she gets in the car, and then he hands her ice cream. And she's just like, ice cream's like, yeah, it's just like the first day that I met you. And she's just like, oh, that was sweet, guys. Like, yes, Mqhele is not my favorite person right now, but like in that moment, like it was a nice gesture, and it was a very inexpensive gesture also. So he thought about it. So he says that, and he's like, that day I met the girl of my dreams, and I was so nervous. So my friend was just like, you were nervous? You were very sure of yourself that day. Which he was. Like, he was very sure of himself. He wanted to come in on the first day, and she was still with Osandi. Like, guys, this man, he was moving. He was making moves like this. Like, he was so quick. And he's like, no, I just came because I know things are strained between us, and I don't want them to be like that. I don't want you to worry yourself about it. And then she says, I am just glad that I'm with a man that I love and who loves me too. At this point, I'm kind of questioning if Mqhele is in love with Hlomu. Well, in the story. But anyways, yeah, he's like, no, just eat your ice cream before it melts. And then it moves on to Lerato again, and she's at Hlomu's place still with the baby. And Lux comes to see her, and then she's just like, I'm sorry about how I handle things. I just wanted to apologize for that, and I know you've made it very clear that me and you are not in a relationship. And then Lux is just like, yo, dude, like, you know, you're a useless journalist. Like, you haven't done any of your job, so you know what, you are fired. Just like that. Like, literally, he fired her and he left. And then, guys, I got the shock of my life. It moves on to Mqhele and the commissioner's wife in bed. Not Mandisa killing somebody. Like, somebody is gonna die. I can't. So it ends with them. And then it moves on to episode 29, which is the cost of freedom. So this is definitely based around Za and her finally getting out of jail. So it starts off with my favorite couple. Guys, why does Mqhele do things like this and only for him to disappoint us, like, in the end? This man. So it starts with Mqhele, and he made breakfast for Hlomu, and he brings it to her in bed, and he wakes her up, and it's just like, I made it just the way that you like it. And he has like a red rose there inside a beer bottle. The fact that he even thought about that. So he brings it to her, and yeah, no, she looks at the food, clearly doesn't look appetizing. She takes her phone and she takes a picture. So he's like, what are you doing? Like, and she's like, no, I'm just like taking a picture of the flower, like I'm so I guess she was taking a picture for her friends and her brother. But anyways, and he's like, yeah, you can eat, the food is getting cold. So she looks at the food and she tries to eat it, and yeah, it clearly doesn't taste good because she's just like, And he's like, you don't like it? And she's like, not that I don't like it, but like the next time let me cook with you. And I was just like, oh, that is so cute. But anyways, it moves on to the commissioner with Mqhele and Nkosana, and they are discussing the money. And he's just like to them, so guys, you need to move quick, because as I told you, I am retiring, so I'm I'm gonna be out of here very soon, so if you want this thing done, you need to give me the money. And he's like, so did you bring the money? And they're like, yeah, but we only managed to get 65 million. This nigga's just like, what? Change low. Like, no, that's not what we agreed upon. We agreed on 80 million. So if you want your person out, you will give me what I asked for. So when he's saying this, the wife is there. So it moves on from them to Hlomu's friend. I don't know what her name is, so I'm just going to refer to her as Hlomu's friend, the one who was the maid of honor. So it moves to her, and she's at the informer's office, and she's having an interview with Lux. I didn't know she was a journalist, but anyways, so yeah, she gets hired, and then Lux asks her, what do you know about the Zulu family that Hlomu is married into? He wants to die. Like, he really wants to die. Like, I've never seen someone who wants to be killed so badly. And this girl's like, I don't know anything about them except for that Hlomu was married into the family. And then she's just like, why? He's like, no, I'm just asking. And then she's like, okay, guys, look at this. Look, it's so cute. Ooh. Anyways, and then she goes out and she goes to and she passes Hlomu's desk, and she's just like, yeah, like, I got it, I'll call you later. And then she leaves, and it moves on to Mqhele telling Nkosana that he needs to tell Mvelo's mom that Mvelo's dead. And Nkosana's like, yeah, I will do it. And it's like, yeah, you need to do it very soon. And then it goes to Lux finding out who the two people that were killed in Buba were, and if they are connected, what happened at the Zulu wedding. And also, like, he's coming up with theories about what could have had them killed, and their names correlate with people who were killed back in the 80s when Sibopho was still alive. So he's kind of saying that the Zulu boys are basically doing like a little pick up where the father left off kind of thing. So that's gonna get him in trouble. Like, honestly, like, if he doesn't tread lightly or tread carefully, he's gonna end up dead, which I don't mind at this point because he's annoying. And then it moves on to Nkosana visiting Za in the prison. So we finally get to meet Za, and yeah, as we all know, it's Kanyimbao, and yeah, not too impressed about that, honestly, guys. Like, it is what it is. So yeah, they have their little moment, so I'm not even gonna go into those details. And then it moves to the dramatics of Lerato coming back to the informer to pick up all her stuff. So she comes, and everyone in the office is just like, you. And she is so shady, guys. She's wearing her shady boots. Like, she is ready for anyone. She's ready to go. So she's packing up her things, and she is upset. Someone's just like, oh, I'm glad, and let me help you. So she's helping her pack, and then she's just like, oh, people are looking at her, and she's just like, what are you looking at? And then Lakolo comes, and she goes off at him. She's like, you guys need to be careful of this one. He uses girls. I was trying to use you, but you were not usable because you are so useless. So she goes off, and someone's just like, calm down, calm down, calm down. No, she's not coming down. She is going off. She's like a bomb. And yeah, and then she's just like, she leaves. This is back to Nkosana and Za, and Nkosana is telling Za that they buried Mvelo and Bande the 2 weeks prior to him coming today. And she is just like, what? You buried my child 2 weeks ago, and you're only telling me now? What were you doing all this time? And she is just going off at him. Like, she literally blew and she's like, you need to get me the F out of here. Like, you need to get me out of here. And he's like, yes, I'm gonna get you out of here. I'm working on it. And you can tell that she is distraught, and she tells the guard that she's ready to go back, and she leaves him there. And then it moves to Hlomu, Langa, Lerato out celebrating that Lerato is moving to Durban. That is very fishy to me. Like, all of a Sunday she's moving to Durban. But anyway, she's moving to Durban, so they're celebrating that. And as they're celebrating, I'm just thinking, oh my goodness, Hlomu, why are you out at night? So the other friend comes and joins them, and Lerato's just like, more drinks. Let's order another round, and then they order more drinks. And I'm thinking to myself, sis, you need to be going home. You need to be heading home. You need to be tracking back to where you live, or calling your husband and telling him that you are going to be late something. But no, she is having a good time. And then it moves to the brothers at the Zulu house, and they're having dinner, and they're having jokes, and they're laughing. So Sambulo's telling them about some interaction he had with a girl, and yeah, they're just like laughing about it. And then Mqhele say, Aige waze waslaya ujab. Dude, why would you remind this man of the one person that he wanted to marry at that point when he's still healing? Like, I don't understand. He just made the mood so sour, and Sambulo just left his food and he got up. So Mqhele is just like, what's going on? So Mqhele comes in and is just like, what's happening? And the mood has just like shifted from laughing to like very somber. And then Mqhele moves on to Mqhele and is like, Upuma Dingale's cat. What is wrong with this boy? Like, I wanted to smack the crap out of him. Like, why? Nagindaba zako. So Mqhele, Kawa is just like, it's none of your business. And then Mqhele is just like, I know she's busy. So at that time, he's fine. Like, he's okay. Like, he's not upset that she's not at home. And then it moves on to Hlomu, her friend, and Langa in an Uber. These two are drunk out of their minds, and they are out in the sunroof in the middle of the night, and then they got stopped by the Metro Police. And they're just like, in my head I'm thinking, oh my gosh, she's gonna go to jail, she's gonna go to jail, and this is why she's gonna be beat up, because why are you acting like that when you are my wife? Oh guys, she was giving me heart palpitations. But yeah, they get stopped, and then they try to bribe the cops, and then Langa luckily was the only kind of sober one. He talked the cops out of arresting them or anything, taking any further steps. And he was just like, no, they're just drunk, like, I'm gonna take them straight home. They go to Mahlomu's old place now, which is Langa's place. They go there, and Langa is passed out on the bed. These two are still drinking, and they're eating, and I'm just thinking, Hlomu, call your husband, or go home, call your husband to come pick you up, go home, something, do something. But no, sis is drunk out of her mind, and her friend are just like having the best time of their lives and telling each other how much they love each other, and then they both pass out. Doesn't it end with her phone ringing on the floor? Guys. And then it goes on to episode 30, which is titled Deja Vu. Yeah, we know what that is. So immediately when it starts, it opens up with the warning, like warning us that, hi guys, gamambela, like, if you are in a relationship, nendo tekshaya, shia pansi, angege kanje, wena njalo nje uhlanganiswa nendonga, uhlanganiswa nefurniture all the time. Guys, I may not know how it is to be in a relationship with someone like Mqhele, but hayi ma uzoshaya ingane yomunye umama, whereas at your house they never hit you. Like akuyenze isigubhu, akuyenze isigubhu njalo nje wena uyashaya uyakhala. No. But yeah, episode 30 starts off with Mqhele sitting on the chair. I don't even think he slept. Sitting on the chair, he doesn't have a top on, he's just wearing jeans with no shoes, and he's smoking. Has his phone. His face tells you everything about what's going on in his mind. Like, everything. And he is calling Hlomu again. Hello, this is my Hlomu Zulu. I am not available at the moment. Please leave your name and number. Girl! This man is not about to leave no name or number. Why didn't she call her husband? Like, why didn't Hlomu call him? Like, guys, it is simple. Call this man and let him know you are not coming back home. Like, it is not that hard. Her phone was still on. But yeah, she was not in her rightful state of mind. Anyways, so as he's sitting and he's calling her, it kind of like simultaneously it is with it goes to Mqhele and then it goes to Hlomu. So Hlomu wakes up and she finds her friend in the kitchen. She is making breakfast and Hlomu's like, "You still hungover?" And she's like, "Yo, I've never been like this. I've never felt this hungover ever in my life. I just feel so And then her friend, Mqhele's calling, her friend is just like, you will think it's a hangover, and then boo, jiggy. It's ilafifana dies. That's what she says. She's like, ilafifana dies. You will think it's a hangover, and then pa. It's a thing that has eyes, and it is crying and saying mama. And Hlomu was just like, what? And she's like, Mngani, when last did I go on my period? And her friend is just like, and then it moves on to Nkosana, and he's at the taxi rank and he's meeting up with Lagaza, and it's just like, dude, like any information about this Nzizwa Uvilagaz, like have you found him? And Lagaza, you can see he's scrambling, guys, like he is scrambling to make up a story, and he's just like, no, I haven't found him, like no one knows about this person, and what if he's dead? So he's like, well, if he's dead, find me his grave. Yo, guys, Budum Dala is looking for this person. And it's like, but what if he's dead? Like, why do you add to, even if he's dead? Find me his grave. And then I will, yesla, because he killed my parents. And then he leaves them there. And then it goes to, it goes back to Hlomu and her friend, and they are in the bathroom, like waiting. She has a test now. They're waiting to see, and they're just like 2 lines. And then her friend is like, oh my god, friend, don't panic, we can deal with this. So Hlomu is just like, deal with what? I'm not panicking. And then she's like, oh, you married. So if she wasn't married, so she's like, oh, you married? And she's like, yes, I'm going to be a mom. Like, guys, she was so happy. Like, she's like, oh my god, Zulu's gonna be so happy. I can't wait to tell him. And she's like, I'm gonna be a mom. And they're both like excited about that. And I'm just like, how short-lived that will be. And then it goes to Mqhele. He goes to her work. So he goes to Hlomu's work and he's looking for her. So he's at the reception and they're calling to find out if Hlomu is at her desk. And then she's like, no, she hasn't been in today. Yo, when that lady said that, guys, his face, he can't even like smile at this lady. He can't even be nice to this lady. He was forcing to be okay in front of this woman. And then he's like, oh, okay. And then he leaves. And then it goes to back in the house. And Hlomu is finally home. She is so happy, guys. Like, she is in a mood. She is singing, I say the heavy one down. Imagine. Like, she is literally in cloud 9, like cloud 9, 30, whichever other cloud is there, like she's there. So she keeps on, she puts on the shower and she's singing that song, and Mqhele comes into the bathroom and she sees him through the mirror, and like her smile just like lit up because she has such great news to tell him. And he comes behind her and she like melts behind him. She melts in front of him and he has his hands on her shoulder, and she's just like singing the song, and doesn't this man press his fingers onto her shoulder? She's just like, ouch, uyangilimaza. And as she's bent forward, he jabs her rib cage, like on the side, like he jabs her. How do you come back from that? Like, how do you come back from and be with a man who does something like that? Regardless, like Mqhele, guys, doesn't ask questions. Like, he doesn't ask questions. He just does whatever he feels he wants to do at that moment. And I feel like that is so unfair on Hlomu. Like, what happened to communication? Didn't they communicate before they got married? Like, he doesn't ask her anything. He doesn't say anything. He just like jabs her, and then he jabs her again. And I think she's so shocked that she doesn't even cry. Like, she doesn't even know how to react. She doesn't even cry. She doesn't even like go into protective mode or anything like that. So when he jabbed her, there's like a couch thing in front of them. So she lies on it, and then he just keeps on punching her. And then he eventually steps back, and she's like, Mqhele, and then she looks at him, and then he pushes her on the floor. So he literally pushes her from, yeah, like on the floor. And she has no reaction, guys. Like, she's not even crying. Like, she's, I think in her mind, like, it took so long to register because she was so happy about something that she wanted to tell him and that they could share together. But he just literally ruined all of that. So he starts kicking her. Like, he kicks her in her tummy, and he kicks her and he kicks her. And then he lights a cigarette and he looks at her, and then he leaves her there. So she crawls to the shower. And as she's crawling, there's like a trail of blood. And she crawls into the shower and she gets in and she sits down. That's the only time that she's actually like cried, that she was actually like crying. And then I think she passed out for a little bit, and he came back and she just felt a figure like over her, and she was just like startled, like she woke up startled. And he was like, no, it's okay, guys. Psycho, he's psycho. How do you do something like that to someone that you claim to love, and then you come back and you act like you did not do anything to her? Like, then you're gonna take care of her after you just beat her? Like, Mqhele is a serial abuser. Like, that showed me that this is not the first time that he's hit a woman. Like, he's hit countless women before, and this is a thing that he does. And then he comes back to her and he's nursing her. So he takes a towel and he puts it over her, and then he picks her up and puts her on the bed. There's a moment in Hlomu's face where I think she realized that she's married to a monster. Like, she is married to a Ted Bundy, honestly. Like, he is a psycho. Like, how? Ganjani, guys, ganjani. Like, is Hlomu ever gonna be happy with this man? Like, at this point, is she ever gonna tola injabulo? Like, because she had it in the morning when she woke up, and now it was snatched so quickly out of her hands. So when he placed her down, he sees blood in his hands, and he's just like so confused why she's bleeding. So Hlomu just turns over and looks at the wall, and she just like crawls, like she goes into like a fetus position. And like, she's not crying, guys. Like, she's not crying. Like, her emotions are just like dead. And he comes back and he takes a blanket. So he washes his hand, comes back, takes a blanket and puts it over her. And then he kisses her on her cheek. So he kisses her on her cheek and then he says, "Ngiyakuthanda yazo." No, you don't. No, you don't. Like, at this point, I honestly don't believe he does. Like, you don't do that. You don't do that to someone that you are so madly in love with and you wanted to be the mother of your kids and you married her because she was the girl of your dreams. Like, you don't do that. Hey guys, like in that moment, like, I mean, reading about it was hard enough, but like seeing it happen was even harder. So he says that and then he goes back to the bathroom and he starts cleaning, disinfects, like he is cleaning, like cleans the floor, cleans the shower, everything, no blood, like he cleans it spotless. And moves on to Mqhele in the kitchen and he's eating. And Kara is just like, I saw my Hlomu's car outside. And did you take her to work? And he's like, no, she's in the room, she's sleeping. And Kara is just like, oh, okay. And he's like, why are you asking? I don't know, I'm just asking Jay. And then Ntsiga comes and it's just like, where's Umami? And Mqhele is just like, hi, what's going on? And he's like, no, she said she was gonna help me with my assignment. And he's like, no, she's still sleeping, so she's not gonna come down anytime soon. Psycho, guys, psycho. The fact that he is just like blocking everyone from knowing what is happening with Hlomu, because everyone knows that she would be awake at that time. So Kara's just like, and what time did she come back? And he's like, this morning. So as they are having the conversation, Godli is coming down with the girl. So Ntsiga has to distract the brothers not to see this girl. So they eventually get out to the house. And then it moves to Hlomu getting out. Like she's sneaking out of the house. She closes her bedroom door, she locks it. And then she sneaks out of the door, the garage door that leads to the garage. And then she has that look in her face that I am not returning to this place. Like, if I could, or like, if I could, I would leave right now, look. And she has a scarf and she puts it over her hair and she ties it and she backs out and she leaves. And then it goes to Nkosana and Tlagala at the taxi rank and they're eating iskopo. So as they're eating there, there's a lady, there's Umama asking for directions from this guy. And he points her where she could find the taxis at that she's looking for. As she is about to pass them, she sees Tlagala and she's like, Vilagazi. Yeah! guys. He's like, Vilagazi. And he's trying to like avoid her. But she's like, Vilagazi. And he looks and she's like, and he's like, no, it's like you. I know you from back in Booba. Dad. Gozana pulls out his gun. It's like, and he's like, no, and everyone just scrambles and run, and it's just the two of them. He's like, no, like he's trying to make up an excuse that no, it's not me. Shoots him straight here, guys, bullseye. Shoots him, dies. Gosana stands up and he walks away like nothing happened. Like, I didn't just kill a man in front of everybody at the taxi rank. No. He just stood up, walked up, and walked and left Laganda there. And then it goes to the last scene, which is Hlomu, and she is at the hospital. So the nurse leads her to the room and she says, the doctor's going to be with you just now. So she's disguised, she has big glasses on, the scarf on, and she gets on the bed. You can tell, guys, like her body is so sore and so heavy. She gets on the bed and she takes off the glasses and the scarf, and as she's sitting there, Sandita walks in and she looks at him and sees it's him, and then she looks away and he's like, Mr. Zulu. And then when he looks, it's Hlomu. And it ends like that. Whew. Wow. Like, that that last episode was very hard for me to watch, y'all. Like, it was really hard for me to watch, and I don't know how triggering it was for many women who have been through situations like that. But I am imploring you, I am imploring anyone who is in a situation like that to seek help, to choose themselves and to not choose a man like Hlomu is doing, because in that moment her words, her dad's words were all jumbled together when I was watching that whole thing. That she left everything, which is true. She left her family, because she loves him, and she said her happiness injabulo yakhe is with him. At this point, injabulo Hlomu ayikho with Mqhele. Mqhele hasn't brought any happiness to Hlomu that is apparent. And also her dad's words, ozenzile rakhalelo, which at this point, yes, she did it to herself, so she needs to lie in the bed. But the thing that I don't really like appreciate about the telenovela is how they have not shown Mqhele's love for Hlomu, and how they have not shown Hlomu's love for... Oh, they've shown Hlomu's naivety, not love. They've shown Hlomu's naivety for thinking that she or saying that she loves Mqhele, and they haven't shown how Mqhele loves Hlomu. Like in the book, Hlomu beyanga weli pants, guys. Like she pants in the book. Like she was here. Like she was here. And in the series, I feel like she's literally on the floor, like on the ground. And Mqhele is just treating her like she is some that he picked out on the side of the road, and not his wife or the woman that he claims to be in love with, or the woman that he loves, or since Obudum Dala said, this is our mother, so you need to treat her like unomaf. Like he does not have any ounce of respect for her at this point, and that is the one thing that I'm very disappointed about, that their love is not really coming through like it's supposed to, like it did in the book. At this point, it's just like, oh, Mqhele got a young girl who is naive to be in a marriage with him, because she's young. Like she's very young, fairly young, in her early 20s, and she got married to this guy who has lived, because she hasn't really had experiences with boyfriends. She hasn't been heartbroken, and she's experiencing all of this with this one man. And it's just really heartbreaking for me to see how she's very unhappy. Like she's been unhappy since they got married. I mean, she has happiness here and there, but like it's not the kind of happiness that would keep you in a marriage, or that will make you want to work harder for your marriage. Doesn't matter how many ngomos they paid to your family. No person deserves to be treated like this. And the fact that she lost a child that she was so excited about, but if she did not lose the child, because there could be twists and turns, if she did not, I would literally take my child and I would leave. I would run and never come back. I will disappear. Let him suffer. Let him suffer. Because in the book, Kawe says to her, you can't leave him because this will break her. And then she says, if I don't leave him, this will break me. And now I have kids. So in the book she had kids, but here she doesn't have any. And this was going to be her first. So I don't know what's going to happen like in the next coming episodes, because even this one was like a shocker. But I'm so glad Lagada is dead. Mqhele is a psycho. Mqhele is crazy. There's no defending him. He can go jump, can go hang at this point. Like honestly, they are making us hate Mqhele so much, and all the things that made us love the character in the story are just like flushed down the drain, because right now we don't like Mqhele at all. We all hate him. So yeah, we will see what happens in next week's episodes, and I will be back with another review. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe, comment down below, and share it with your friends. Thank you so much for watching.